And you know who that person is? That is your future self. And so if you look back 5 years ago, right now, just take a look at who you were 5 years ago and ask yourself this question. Am I the same person today as I was 5 years ago? Right? And so for me personally, I don't want to be that same person. I want to continue to grow. And it does take planning. It does take decision making. It takes commitment and all of this. And so that's what we're going to talk about tonight. And I've got like 25 minutes. So here we're going to go. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining. If this is your first live stream with me and you're new to the group, type number 1, and I want to welcome you, and all the rest if it's your first, 10th, or 30th time joining live stream. For those of you who don't know me, I want to introduce myself because there are so many new women in the group. My name is Shelley Marenka, and I'm the voice and founder of Women Wanting More, and also a company called Inspired Living with Shelley Marenka. And my business is all about coaching, mentoring, training, and teaching students, women in particular. All right, welcome Pam, it's her first one. To empower you, to provide guidance and help you pave the path towards who you are meant to be and overcome your obstacles and roadblocks along the way, build up your confidence, reclaim your voice, increase your cash flow, become wealthier and healthier. So I am so excited about doing all of that. And this session, this live stream, is going to be really valuable. I teach it to my students in my coaching programs, especially Women on the Rise, my 90-day program. You're going to learn about this in my new membership club program. We're going to talk about things that are really going to help create fulfillment and happiness in your future and in your present, and overcome your obstacles and get present and peaceful with your past, because we can't move forward into the direction that we want to go and really be successful if we are not at peace with our past. And so again, tonight, I'm going to talk about how we can expedite and step quickly into your future self and the step that it's going to take in order to do that. What I want you to do in the comments and in the chat is to post your questions, introduce yourself, and then towards the end, I will get back to them and I will answer your questions. Post your comments. If it's like, yeah, that's me, then go ahead and give me a hand wave or a comment or whatever you want. So welcome, ladies, to Wednesday Night Live. So one of the things I want to talk about to begin with is commitment, because until we have a commitment for what we want to create in our lives, the actuality and chances of it happening are really slim. There's a difference between commitment and I'm interested in, right? So if I'm interested in achieving my future self, or if I am committed to achieving a great future self, there's a difference. You know what the difference is? If we're only interested without the commitment, then it's easy to escape and say and come up with excuses and come up with reasons why that you can't do it, or the obstacles that get in the way. I'm interested, but, and then you have all these excuses. When you have commitment and desire, a burning desire, as Napoleon Hill talks about, you will get there. And whatever obstacle comes in your way, it's not going to stop you. You're going to figure a way to go up and over it, around it. It's just like, if any of you ever done like the Tough Mudder, or there's a new name for these competitive extreme competitions where you have 12 obstacles and you have to run 6 miles and you have to figure out how to deal with that obstacle when you come upon it. Well, if you're committed to that race and finishing, you're going to do whatever it takes, including recruiting others to help you to get up and over. I remember I was at a station one time and they had to scale a 6 to 7 foot pole. Well, unless you're like, you got a great vertical jump, you're going to need help. So then you get people to help you. And it's the same thing in life. We need people to help us, and we can't do it alone. One person, unless you're 6 feet tall yourself, can't scale that one obstacle. But you were committed to doing it. You knew there were going to be 10 along that race, and you were going to overcome it and get it done. And that's what commitment and desire looks like when it comes to creating your future self, right? So if you haven't grabbed your journal, a pen and paper, you're going to want to run and get that right now, and post in the chat below. Let me know if you are ready to create your future self. Say, I am, in the comments below. Hey, Shelley, it's great to see you, and Desiree, I miss you guys. It's nice seeing you guys. Okay, so commitment, number 1. So commitment is a state of what is. And you know what you're committed to by results, right? So it's not what you say. It's like actions speak louder than words. You may say something, your partner may say something, you may desire, you may have an interest in this. Yes, Shelley, you go, I'm in. That's right. Future self on its way. Here's the magic wand. So you know what you're committed to by your results. And it's not by your thoughts or, your interests or wishes. We are all committed to something, and we are all committed to something in life, and we're producing results. They could be negative results, they could be positive results, they could be just what is results, but the bottom line is we're all committed to something, whether you realize it or not. So I'm going to ask you a question. Here it is. What are you committed to right now in your life? Whatever you see in your life is what you're committed to. Now that's a heavy one. It's like, whoa, really? And this is about taking full radical responsibility for your life, right? So I'll say it again. Whatever you see in your life, that's what you are committed to right now. And so basically what you currently weigh, that's what you're committed to. The income that you're making, that's what you're committed to. The quality of the relationship you have, that's what you're committed to. So whatever you're committed to, it's showing up. And your commitment in life is reflected 100% by the results that you're currently getting. So what do? If we don't like the results that we are currently getting, then what do? Hey, baby, we change it and we figure out a way to change it. So when you're truly committed to the results that you want, not interested in, committed, then that's when your life really starts improving, right? So who's committed? Who's committed to improving their life? So I've got 2 points that I want you to write down that you want to operate from. Like every decision you make in your life is going to be based on the yes or no answer to this. Okay, the first point is your future self, right? If you're committed to your future self, when you're making decisions throughout your day, starting in the morning, you want to ask yourself, is this going to help me get to my goal of my future self? Okay, and the other one is one major goal. And here's the thing that I want to talk about is when you have a goal for your future self, you want to have one major goal, because if you have too many goals, you're going to get distracted, you're going to get overwhelmed, and it's going to create muddy waters, and you won't be able to see clearly in that pond to that goldfish that's swimming around the bottom, right? You've got to be very clear. So one key goal, right? And your commitment to your future self is paramount to doing anything else in order to fast forward and become your future self, okay? So everything that you do needs to be fitted around these two things. Who is your future self? And what's your major goal in order to get there? And so this is where everything's going to operate from, right? That makes it simple. And if you look at your present and your future self, these are two completely different people, right? And so your likelihood of making better decisions here and now will improve, because according to research, the reason is simple. It's far easier to remember the past than to imagine the future. And I know for a fact that this is common, you guys, and I want you to know this so you don't feel guilty and beat yourself up about this. Most people are living in the past because it takes visualization and planning to live in the future, and that has to be done in the present, right? So most people are actually living in their past, and most people put more effort into planning their annual vacation than they do their future life. So if you want to become more, you want to become who you're meant to be, then you've got to be able to start planning right away who you want to be for your future self. And because we don't take the time to imagine the future, we assume that things are going to be pretty much the same and as they are now, and that we may be the same person now and 10 years from now. And I don't know about you, but I don't want that. Who wants to be a changed, powerful, amazing, fabulous person, even more than you already are now, in 90 days, 1 year, 5 years from now? Give me a thumbs up, right? Okay, so we recognize that we've gone through many major changes in our past, and that can hold us back, and think that our future is just going to be part more of our past, right? And we see our current selves as the finished and evolved version of our current selves now. But the thing is that, and they know this, they've done tons of research, the brain can always change. It's changing all the time. We can reprogram our subconscious to become a new person. Habits can be changed. We can get rid of the old habits. We can bring in new habits to become our future self. And our future self probably is going to be a better person than you are now. So you're going to have new habits, and the old habits are going to fade away. And so you've got to be dedicated and committed to creating those new habits and knowing what they are. So you have to ask your question, who are you now? Who do you want to become? And what's it going to take in order for you to get there, right? These are the questions that we know, because it's like sailing a ship, right? And if we don't have any direction, the sail's up, it's going to go in the direction that the wind is going in, right? And that may not be the direction that you want to go in. Remember, everything you do needs to be filtered through your future self, who you want to become, and your major goal. So let's see. One of the things I'm going to talk about are routines, because they're good for momentum. And we need momentum in order to continue to forge ahead to reach the goals to becoming our future self, right? So we need routines, and the brain thrives on novelty and newness and challenge, and that's how we grow, right? So if you are someone who's seeking rapid growth and progress in your life, you're going to have to balance these two conflicts that, your brain's going to say, oh no, that's a new habit, that's something new, let's continue with the old. And the new brain thought, that's where affirmations come in, is, nope, I'm going to override the old thought. We're going to bring in a new train with new thoughts, new hopes, and new desires. And so you're going to constantly have to evolve by, forging ahead and pushing, pulling yourself forward and getting rid of the routines that continually challenge you beyond what you've ever done. It's going to take courage, and it's going to take confidence, right? So to step into something new always takes courage, and it always takes confidence. And in order for you to become your future self, it's going to take a lot of confidence, you guys. Dan Sullivan, he's a strategic coach, and he said, personal confidence comes from making progress towards your goals that are far bigger than your present capabilities, right? And so one of the things that stops us from becoming more is we don't have the confidence, and we think we don't have the courage to overcome what we think we're capable of and go forward. And so it's really time to start imagining a bigger and better future, and to stop attaching yourself so much to the person that you think you are, and instead be drawn and pulled towards the person that you want to become. And that's the notion of your future self, right? And it's not the present self. So your future self is going to be a completely different person regardless of the effort and tension, because change is inevitable. So we're going to change, and you get to choose whether it's going to be a really great positive change or it's going to be a negative change. Growth is optional, you guys. However, Dr. Gilbert explains that remembering is easier than imagining. So imagination, I love this, I want to talk about that for a minute, is more important than knowledge. Let me go to this quote about that. So imagination is more important than knowledge, for knowledge is limited to all we know now and understand, while imagination embraces the entire world and all there will ever be to know and understand. That's from Albert Einstein, right? So imagination is everything, and we must begin to really engage our imagination, because that's where our creativity comes, and that's where growth comes from. So the question is, how much imagination are you willing to create in your life, right? So I want to introduce 5 powerful strategies for imagining and creating your desired future. And before I do that, though, and let's get your pencils out if you don't have them. Number 1 is, we're going to start with number 1, and it's imagine who you want to be in 3 years. And if someone could drop that in the chat, just type it in. Imagine number one, imagine who you want to be in 3 years. And again, imagination is huge. And if we don't have the confidence and the imagination to believe that we can become something more, then we're in trouble. So we need to work with our thinking, okay? And so we want to take a look at the recent things that you've accomplished and ask yourself, how many of these required courage, right? And did they require you to step out of your comfort zone? And if not, you want to get practice on doing that. And you will be able to do it because when your desire is strong enough, then you're going to find the courage to push through and forge ahead. And this is why your desire and commitment, highlight that, towards your future self must be congruent with each other. Because if they're not, there's going to be conflict. Confidence is the driver towards your future self. If we don't have confidence, we're not going to be able to keep moving. And so your job, just so you know this now, yes, imagine, thank you, Shelley, for doing that. Your job and your income level are based on your confidence, okay? Your chosen friends right now are based on your confidence. The way you dress is based on your confidence. How you show up in the world is based on your confidence. And how other people treat you is also based on your confidence. Confidence can be said as the basis of your imagination, right? And because when our imagination begins to soar, but we find it limited, it's because we don't feel confident. But confidence is required in order for you to see beyond your current circumstances. Confidence reflects your current beliefs of what you believe you can do, learn, and accomplish right now. So the greater your confidence, the bigger your future self. Someone type that in the chat for me, please. The greater your confidence, the bigger your future self. So if you can dream it, you can achieve it. Walt Disney said that, and look what he achieved with so many pushbacks for so many years. And many people don't get past the dream because they don't believe that they are capable, and the level of confidence that they have currently right now in their current self, they need to get past to build up into your future self, okay? So, and confidence is something that is vacillating all the time. It's changing. It can easily be shattered by what someone said to you or what someone did to you, or it can be boosted by a great achievement. Commitment is different than desire, and you need confidence and commitment to be able to succeed in what you want to do. So let's go back to imagine. Your vision of where you want to be and who you want to be is the greatest asset you have. Visualization. So without having a goal, it's difficult to score, right? So you've got to begin there. And your vision begins for your vision for your future, and you want it detailed. You want to be able to write it down. You want to be as specific as possible of exactly what you want to see, who your future self is. Write a letter to yourself and say, this is my future self in 1 year from now or 90 days from now, short term, long term, and then begin to work on it and pull out your calendar and start putting things on your calendar. And ask yourself, what is my life going to look like? Who do you want to be? What does your environment look like? What kind of house you want to live in? What does your bank account look like? Who are the main people in your life? Your friends are changing. Thank you, Shelley. I love that. What is the overall experience that you want to be having? How much money are you making? What's important to you? Do you want to own a cow, a cat, and a dog? Do you want to have kids? Where's your focus? So remember, your job right now is not to determine how any of this stuff's going to happen. It's about dreaming, imagining, and becoming into your future self. This is all going to empower your vision for your future, okay? And it's simply to get clear on your vision. So you've got to write it down, because what we write down, we make happen. And then start sharing it with people that you can trust, in your vision self. Share it with people that you can trust. And then start to make a plan to go towards it. And remember, one goal at a time. Don't get too overwhelmed with all these different things taking you off into different directions, okay? So if you're 100% committed to your goals, I guarantee that you're going to achieve them. And I help women do this in my 90-day program, Women on the Rise, all the time. We take where they're at, where they want to go, what their ideal future self looks like, and we get them going. And we're going to be doing that in my new membership club too. And I just want to show you this. This is a way to help you get to your future self too. And it's called the Ultimate Self-Care Guide for the Busy Woman. It is finished, it's complete, and you can get that free download in my new membership club group. So if you want more information about the membership club, put membership club and I'm in. I want more information, okay? Now we're going to go to, you want to feel, number 2, feel deeply what it would feel like to truly be that person. And I talk about this in affirmations too. Affirmations won't work unless there is emotion, visualization, and repetition when it comes to your affirmations. We have to have emotion because that gets us fired up. It starts to program it in our subconscious. It starts to replace those old thoughts. We start to feel it in our body and we get really excited. And here's a quote from Joe Dispenza I want to share with you. According to research on mental rehearsal affirmations, once we immerse ourselves in that scene, changes begin to take place in our brain. And therefore, each time we do this, we're laying down new neurological tracks because the brain is neuroplastic. It has neuroplasticity. It changes. And that literally changes our brain to look like the brain of the future. Oh my God, I get so excited. I get chills. I know, I'm crazy. But it works. It's true. I'm sitting here live in front of you. I have experienced this. I'm experiencing it live. I'm creating my future self right now as we speak. And so in other words, the brain starts to look like the future that we want to create as if it already happened. So you've got to do this visualization, journaling. I talk about that in my Ultimate Self-Care Guide, right? I love this. I'm so excited. It's my first publication, and since I was in the fitness industry, I'm so excited about it. Thank you. You're going to love it. And so emotion-based visualization, fresh new environments and experiences that are challenging you, and bold new behaviors comes with routines. And I talk about routines. That's where we start in my 90-day program. We establish morning routines and evening routines. So what happens in between is highly productive. You're performing at a really high level. Your happiness is really incredible. And it's off the charts. And number 3 is shift as much in your current life to reflect your future self. So design crushes willpower. You want to design your life so you can actually step into it. Visualization isn't enough. You need to begin seeing evidence throughout your life that you're serious about. And one of the most powerful ways to do this is to create evidence of your future dreams, to begin investing money in those dreams, begin investing in yourself. Okay, so how many of you have invested in something? For example, something as simple as a gym membership, and you're paying $100 a month. That in and of itself should motivate you to keep on going, right? But we have to invest in ourselves. We have to put skin in the game. If you want, guidance and assistance and tools and skills to step into your future self, drop a comment below. And hop on a call with me. I'll drop a scheduling link in there. We can get a breakthrough call and see what we can do for your future self. Number 4 is expect everything and attach to nothing. Expect everything and attach to nothing. Carrie Campbell said that. And the thing is, we don't need to know the how. We just need to have a strong desire and a why, and the how will unfold as you step into courage, as you build your confidence, and as you begin to create your future self. You have to actually want the outcome in question and have some knowledge and competency. And I teach, this in my coaching programs and tools and skills and competency and confidence and courage and all of that. And you've got to believe that you can do it. So whatever you're involved in, you have to believe that you can achieve that goal. It's so critically important. And then number 5 is measure the gain, not the gap. So you want to make sure that you have a check-in along the way so that you can course correct if you need to, but also acknowledge the accomplishments that you're making along the way. The way to measure your progress is backward against where you started, not against your ideal. And that's why I love journaling and promote that. Journaling is all about, it's one of the steps in the Ultimate Guide to Self-Care that tips maybe that you've never tried. Journaling is so crucial and such a gift you give yourself. So every 30 or 60 days, a solid practice is that, you want to be able to measure the gain. Like, how's it working? What were your 5 biggest wins? What about your current situation? Where do you need to course correct? So these are steps that will help keep you moving forward in your life and at the same time enjoying the process, you guys. And in fact, research shows that happiness bolsters motivation and success. And when we have a vision, we have a goal. And so then we have a purpose. So when we get out of bed, we have something to do, right? So it's just so important that all of these things can be put into question. And so and then into practice. So here's some questions I want to review really quick before I sign off. And I'm not going to be able to answer your questions live, but I will get back in this live and I will answer them. So post them, any questions or comments that you have. So where am I now? Ask yourself that. What were the wins from the past 90 days that I've had? What are the wins from the next 90 days that I want? Where do I want to be in 90 days from now, a year from now, 5 years from now? And a very vivid vision. And that's what I call clarity and creating a roadmap. And where do you want to be in 1 year from now? So I'm going to sign off, you guys. I'm so grateful that you joined me. Remember to power up your potential, radically shift your health, and love yourself more. This is Shelley Marenka from Women Wanting More and Inspired Living. If you want more inspiration, you can find me on Instagram. My podcast and YouTube is called Inspired Living with Shelley Marenka. Drop your comments below. If you want to get on the phone and have a chat with me and have a breakthrough call, I'll put the scheduling link there below. I love you guys. Thank you for joining me. And this very live stream will be uploaded in 24 hours on YouTube. Until we meet again, I love you. Thanks for joining, everybody. Ciao for now.